Okay. As was mentioned, I formerly was on the chief and council. I was a member of the council, and during that time, I had a fellow councillor, and we were being asked to present a lot of information about the land claim that we had put together to the public, to the and a lot of it was happening in schools to the children, which I thought was very, very important. That our children were also in the same education system, and it was important that the children that they were meeting there, the other children, had some understanding of who we were. So that was the importance of the presentation. The fellow's name was Ron Bernard. He's now in his 80s, and he's still doing well, according to what I hear. So, but I don't see him all that often anymore, and whatnot. So, anyways, when he put that thing together, he started out with what we call pre-contact, and that means before the non-native people like yourselves arrived here. Arrived here in North America, and the archaeologists advised that we were here at least 10,500 years or so before that. So we've been here a long, long time. But what happened to a lot of the First Nation people in Canada was they weren't immune to any of the diseases that came with people from, particularly say from Europe and that, and so we lost a lot of people, but there were lots of people here before we were discovered, so to speak, and then I guess one of the most important people that we all heard about in schools was Champlain. Champlain is listed as the discoverer of North America, if you will. And he met one of our chiefs, Chief Tessawat, at the place. Now, we controlled the Ottawa River, and we took a toll from anybody going by, whatever they were going by for. And so Champlain wanted to go by, but he was denied that by Chief Tessawat because he didn't want to pay the toll that we were charging. And so the presentation I've got here starts over there with pre-contact. It comes all the way over. Chief Tessawat meets Champlain. And I should tell you, there's a picture there. It's one of our youth members drew a picture, but he put half the face being First Nation Aboriginal, and the other half being, I guess, to represent Champlain himself. But it was about the two peoples coming together. This is what was happening. And that was happening in the Ottawa Valley. And then significant events in the territory for us was the Royal Proclamation, which reserved the whole Ottawa Valley on our side to us. And there wasn't supposed to be any disposition of that property. But unfortunately, that part of it was disappeared. And so we end up with a lot of people here. And one of the things that we see in one of our earlier petitions was that our forefathers said, we're not going to create a second wrong. And what they were talking about was the land from our perspective was stolen from us. And now people were living there and they believed that they owned the land legitimately and everybody else didn't know perhaps that history or that historical fact. In any event, they decided at the time that they would not create a second wrong by then forcing people to give that property back that had been in their families for quite some time. So what we said is we'll recognize what's happened there, and we won't ask for it. And there was lots of Crown land available anyways, so to speak. And we were looking to get a significant chunk of that. Instead, we got very little. The territory that we call our traditional lands comprised about 9 million acres. And what the governments were prepared to relinquish in the negotiations was 117,500 acres. That sounds like a lot of land, but when you compare it to 9 million, it's really a pittance. It's about 1.3%. And so I invite people to read the presentation. It talks about a number, like all of the issues. It talks about how many times we approached the government. And in the archival records, we were able to find about 30 times when we asked the government to come and settle with us. But it never ever happened. It's underway now, and as I say, what they've agreed to do is they've agreed to us taking a small chunk of the property that we all thought was ours. We said it's ours. And I'll say one other thing. To the north of us, we have the Cree people. They have their own territories. To the west of us, we have the Ojibwe. They have their own territory. To the south of us, we have the Iroquois and the Mohawks, and they have their territories. East of us, we have the Montagnais and Atikamekw, and they have their territory. But we all knew where we all lived, what was our territories, and we all respected that. And we're trying to create a respectful deal now with the governments who are acting on your behalf, and I guess to a certain extent on our behalf. But anyways, come and take a look at it. I'll be standing around. You just can talk to me and ask me whatever questions you think. I'll try to answer them, and some of them I may not be able to, but anyways, I'll give it a shot. Thank you very much.